the words of my mouth and the meditations of our hearts be always acceptable in your sight. God, our strength and our Redeemer. Amen. When I first proposed that we hold this blue Christmas service, the members of our worship committee chuckled, thinking I was proposing some kind of Elvis tribute. I've also now learned that apparently people thought I was doing a service about the police officers as well. So, while this isn't a gathering that we have traditionally done here at St. Barnabas, it's one that many Episcopal churches have come to provide in their communities in recent years. Christmas, especially in this hemisphere, where the days are shorter and the nights are longer, is a time when some are feeling oddly out of step with the expectations of being joyous. And I couldn't help but notice that this year, more than at any other time that I recall, many of my fellow clergy colleagues across the country seem to have reached a similar conclusion. 2025 needs a blue Christmas, because 2025 has been one very hard and difficult year for a lot of people. And just the past 8 days has felt like a particularly trying time, with shootings and murders of Rob and Michelle Reiner and the ugly words spoken and shared across social media about all of it. The accusations and anger surrounding the murder of Charlie Kirk. And that all got reawakened again. And the prospect of rising costs of healthcare and groceries is lingering in the heads of millions of people. That pall of sourness and meanness hovers over us and makes whatever personal struggles we each are wrestling with feel just that much worse. One might say, we are a people sitting in darkness, and not just because this happens to be the shortest day of the year. And yet, even in the darkest of times, it's important to remember that darkness really is a temporary occurrence. The light is still shining if we keep our eyes open and searching. We hear that in both the message of the prophecy of Isaiah as well as our gospel. Both the prophet and the angel deliver a message to a people who are feeling as though they are in a hopeless situation. The people in Isaiah's time were afraid of one set of enemies, only to be conquered by a different army. Mary and Joseph, as well as the shepherds, were living under the thumb of an occupying Roman Empire. And in both cases, in their troubled times, the promise was there that the future was brighter and they would be walking in the light again. The time of relief would be at hand. They will be comforted by the presence of a wonderful counselor and a Prince of Peace. The fact that the angel made this known first to the shepherds is that reminder to us today that God speaks to those on the margins to give the good news. Shepherds weren't the ruling class, and they still aren't even today. They were the working poor of the first century, so low on the class strata that they were seen as social outcasts. These shepherds were minding the sheep at night, in the darkness. Regular shepherds did their work in the day, so scholars think these shepherds were associated with the temple, caring for the sheep that would be used for sacrificial purposes. And such sheep would need round-the-clock observation. And so it's to this group of people, doing the unglamorous work that others weren't doing and still benefited the community, that the angel came to deliver this news of hope. It was this group, not the political, religious, or even economic leaders, who received a vision of a great light and saw a heavenly chorus singing of peace and glory coming into the world. in the darkest hours, the promise of God is to meet those of us who are sitting in gloom and grief, and to be present with us, to encourage us to lift up our heads, open our eyes, and receive light, love, hope, peace, and yes, even comforting joy. When things aren't right in our lives or in the world around us, we have this Christmas story as our reminder that we are not alone. There's a line that I particularly love from Psalm 30. Weeping may spend the night, but joy comes in the morning. So keep the faith. Keep kindling hope in the heart. And may we all come to see the dawning of Christ's light of love for us and for the world this Christmas. In the name of our one holy and undivided Trinity.